Okay, this is the layout of everything that's in the BORG, Big City BORG Shwack Pack. Big City because everything's in it. BORG stands for Bug Out Ready Go, and Shwack, Rapid Access, Rapid Deployment Machete. I'll demo all of this later on. I just wanted to lay it out and show you that all of this is in my Bug Out Pack, which I call the Big City BORG Shwack Pack. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this ready to pack up the pack, and I'll just start putting it away. The items that are here are the David sling, or the shepherd sling. This is the one that killed Goliath. Not the one that killed Goliath, but probably a type that David flung. A pretty large stone, a smooth stone, will fly. I use the wrist lanyard on this because it can really heave a very large rock. Pretty good size, golf ball or even larger. So this is just a couple of ounces. It can be made expediently in the field. I pre-make mine because I get a very nice little guy here. It doesn't take up any space in your pack and can be used for security and hunting. Next is the Boladero. I'm getting these ready to pack. The Boladero is used by gauchos today in Argentina. Been around a long time. Also been used by Incas and other tribes for hunting, smaller versions for birds. This one has two 1 1/8 inch nuts, 3 strands of, when it's hurled, this one I hold one, some people hold all 3. I found that's not effective. I throw it like the gauchos throw it, which is full spread, about 6 feet, helicopter, and then it goes. I put it up. If I'm going to use it, I don't want it to get tangled up. So when I lay it out, I daisy chain it real quick to put it up. This makes it so that when I drop it out and get ready to use it, I don't have to untangle it. I can do it I can use it very quickly if I need to use it very quickly. 2, daisy chain, one more here. Then when it lays out, get that ready to feed. And doubling up, use a small pencil just to hold it together. It's ready to pack up and to employ. I'll pack these up in a minute. AJ bow sling. I put all of these into one pack. Seen demo this in another video. This is my first choice. I put both in this pack for demonstration purposes, but you could use one or the other. You don't necessarily need both. You could take them because I carry both of them for demonstration purposes, but this is my first choice, mostly because the archery profile has a different, it's not as stealthful as this guy here. If you get the AJ sling bow, make sure that you get it. There are different types of bow releases. This one is 10 or 12 bucks online, and it's the wrist release. And get both of them together. Make sure that you've got this. You're not going to be effective or as effective without the wrist release. It's much more accurate. So we'll put those up into a pack. Here's a trick that I use. I make my own bags and then I put packing tape on them so that they're toughened up and can be reused. This will go right into the security pocket. Get it in here. The wrist release right here. The David sling. And the Boladero. All that goes in there together. And we're ready to pack that one up. I'll just fold it over this way for now, get it out of the way. That's done. The machete, the Shwack machete, goes into the scabbard. I don't have the scabbard out here, but I have a separate video on how to make the scabbard and how to mount it onto your pack. Okay, the Smith & Wesson Homeland Security knife. 3 lashing points and a hammer. Big piece of steel cut through a car door. Very good. Heavy piece of steel, functional, and a sharpener and scabbard with scabbard. It's here, okay? Digging stick, easy to make. This is homemade. 1/8 inch piece of steel. I have this on my hiking stick, a staff. I always carry a staff just for balance, and also mine is pre-split so it will hold this and lash in. That's an 1/8 inch piece of steel and turns your hiking stick into a lance very quickly. You pick and choose the ideas. You don't have to do your pack exactly like I'm doing my pack over here. The throwing cross doesn't get enough attention. This is an expedient weapon. I've made this one out of some straight lumber. It's easy to carry, very light, and it goes together really easy. When I pack it away, it's lashed together, throws like a ninja star. Each one of these pieces about 20 inches long. You can make it in the field out of straight sticks that are about 20 inches long. Lash them together real quickly, and you have a hunting device security tool. Okay, that's a crisscross lash that just goes on here, quickly unties. And I cover the points so they don't go through my pack with a piece of cloth. There it goes. And I'll just wrap these two together. Finish that off, and we're good. Okay. The way it goes over here, it's ready to pack. This you carry on your person. You got to have the tactical folder. There are all kinds of these at decent prices. You can spend $150, or I get these from Big Five when they go on sale. I think I paid $9 for this one. That's a fast opener. It's got the tanto point, serrated edge. You know the deal. Okay. Finally, we get into the Spectre bow. There's two versions of this that I've seen on the internet. One is the SAS bow. I think something archery. Can't remember what the SAS stand for. The SAS bow is more expensive. Comes with a little nicer package and a little bit better made. This one's got the right price. I think you'll like it. It's the Spectre. The problem with the Spectre bow, when I bought it, they had a little piece of wire here. It was very cheaply done. So I replaced that with a machine screw, and I got a much better holding system for this, okay? So this it doesn't come with the arrows. You can buy them with the arrows. I bought these arrows separately. They're Easton. I think I bought these with the Chief AJ bow sling. These break down. This is what makes it unique. Don't do target practice with these arrows. They're too expensive. Use a target arrow, just a cheapy target arrow for your practice shots, and pack these away and save them for your hunting and protection when you're in the field. 3 of these break down. This one comes with a quiver and a bowstring when you order it, but no arrows. So the quiver's right in here. It has 2 pockets. When the arrows are fully extended, this can be worn around the body as a quiver. For now, I'm just going to pack this stuff away. It has 2 pockets, and I'll go with here. And fit those guys in there comfortably. There it goes. That lays out like so. Finally, we've got this one. I'm going to take this apart, step through. This is the best way. Bend the bow over, take it. That's the safest way to do the bow. After the string is off, these 2 pieces just slide out. The bow is wrapped up. Bowstring. Don't forget the bowstring. Put that away. Slides down into the case. And there we go. There's a little flap folder right here, and this is ready to go into your BORG Bug-Out Ready Go pack. Okay, all the security items listed and put in there. Don't forget the string. Slide that right into the top there so it's accessible. Those are ready to pack up, and we'll do the pack up separately, but those are all the security items. Okay, we'll take a quick look at the exposure component. This goes in the center pocket. I'll show you where I pack all of this stuff, and there's some good stuff in here when you put it together. It's lightweight, can handle variables. You don't necessarily need it all, but worst case scenario, freezing cold, You could use it all. Just go through the components. This is a reflective tarp. You can throw it down. It has the inner layer that's heat reflective on that. And throw it right down on the ground, or just throw it over you, cold and wet, and start to dry yourself out. This one, I make the case, I shrink this stuff down. Inside of it is a rolled up sleeping bag, ultralight sleeping bag right there. Don't necessarily have to use that sometimes, but it's there if you need it. Then this is the bivouac tent. I'll have to see who makes it, and I'll reveal that later on in the comprehensive list. It sets up as a one-man bivouac with mosquito netting, and you climb right in there. You can just set this up sets up really quick. The poles are in here, and the tent pegs are inside of this. This is fabricated into a raincoat belt from a Marine Corps raincoat. Now it's functional. It's holding my tent poles that are inside of this. It's really low profile and really good. So that's a nice piece of gear. It's a Gore-Tex cover. Extra tent pegs comes in handy for the fast setup. You don't have to go cut sticks or anything. Super light and don't take up much room. Good old military rain poncho. Just throw this over your head and over your pack and get out of the rain and either set out the storm or set up something more permanent as you go through there. Said before that I'm a proponent of having a waterproof warm cap. It's amazing how much heat you can lose out of your head, and you just warms you up and gives you a good comfortable feeling when you're in the rain. Put on the poncho, put on the rain hat, put up the hood, and you should be fairly comfortable. So it's a nice piece of gear that I like. Next is silks. These are just the military silks that were issued to me and for cold weather operations, but they also come in handy. You don't have to be in the snow to get cold. A lot of people think, oh, that's winter camping. No, I'm in Ecuador. There's a lot of rain here. You can get caught in the rain very quickly here. Once you get wet and cold, you're in a situation where you're going to lose body heat and can actually get into a dangerous situation in terms of exposure. So those are the silks. Then this is a Gore-Tex lightweight jacket for the rain. You can put that on and get really squared away pretty fast. In a rainstorm, throw the Gore-Tex on, throw the poncho on, throw the hat on, and you're good to go. You should ride out a storm in that situation. Get ready to go to bed, dry yourself off, put the silks on. Underneath your clothing, if you want to sleep in your clothing. If your clothing is wet, ditch it. Just sleep in this. Not ditch it, but get it, carry it with you, throw it in a bag till you can dry it out, okay? These are the big heavy-duty trash bags. That's what I recommend that you get. I've got 3 of them. These are 3 foot by 5 foot. You can sleep in these things, basically. Make things out of them. I carry a packing tape for such a purpose. I can put 2 of them together. I can do all kinds of things with these. Really come in handy for all types of functions. You can fill them with leaves or dry grass and have a thermal blanket out of one of these. Sleep very comfortably. Worst case scenario, I'm going to throw it all together, put on the silks, put on the Gore-Tex, put on the hat. Not necessarily the rain poncho in the, that's for kind of outdoor use. Set up your tent, put the sleeping bag in it, get the reflective tarp over the top of you, or underneath you, or all around you, and you're going to have a good little sleep while you dry out and wait out the storm. That's the exposure component. I'll go into the setup of the bivouac tent. Really makes a nice little shelter. Even without the sleeping bag, you can climb in here and have a pretty good night, depending upon the temperatures. So that's it. I'll show you how I pack these up, and I hope that you learn something as we go through the BORG Bug Out Ready Go Pack. Well, this is fun. Okay, we're going to quickly go through the food and water components here in the Big City BORG Shwack Pack. This is what I've got inside of here. This is a week's worth of food, maybe a little bit longer if you ration it out. Some good stuff to eat. I put the water in here too. I have 2 1.4 liter bottles of water that I take. These can be rationed out for roughly 4 days. You need to find a resupply within 5 days with this much water. You can drink half per day. It's not as much as you need, but it's rationed out and you can do that. like 8 ounces in the morning, 8 ounces in the evening, 16 ounces a day is about where you're going to get with this system. Resupply, I like the Survivor filter. It's small, lightweight, and what it does, and the reason I like it is because it's a very simple system. You put your dirty water into a bottle when you resupply. You can do this on the run and drink it later. You don't have to boil it, and you don't have to use a fire to do this, but this is will go on any standard water bottle and tighten on, and then it's just a straw system. Turn it up, drink it down, and you're good to go. Any of the water bottles or soda bottles will work for this, and very quick and easy to use. So that's my water component. You could carry more water depending upon your situation, but your weight goes up really fast with the water. We'll set these over here. Okay, that's the water component. This is some good food that's in here. Easy and fast are these noodles, egg noodles. These are all chicken flavored. That's the one I like. It has a little packet of chicken bouillon in there. I'm able to wrap these with packing tape, get them tightly packed, crush the noodles to squeeze them down. I can get 5 packs in there. You could cut and choose as you want to go. I like these cans of tuna because one is a meal. If you get the bigger cans, you may not want to eat that much at one particular time. So this is really good to use. Atún is Spanish for tuna. So I get 4 of those, and 1 a day. And I got some sardines, high calorie, in oil, and tomato sauce. Okay, tasty little guys. You can eat those. If you have other containers or safe plastic bags, you can get a little bit more time out of the sardines after they're open. So I could eat half of that, or even a third of it, and then another third. It just depends on what you want to do. Don't let your stomach go too long without food in it. If it shrinks too much, it'll really bother you. Other foods in here: sugar, salt, luxury items. This is good. Malto meal, already pre-salted. So 4 tablespoons in a cup of boiling water. Just basically don't even need to do anything except let it set for 5 minutes, and then you eat a nice cup of meal. Very filling, nutritious malto meal. Tastes good too. That's what the sugar's for. Add a little sugar to mine and get yourself a nice breakfast with very little trouble. Raisins last for years, non-perishables. Everything in here is non-perishable. Okay. Dates, very good to eat, last for a very long time. Macadamia nuts, almonds. Okay. So I get your nuts in here and some of your dates and raisins, and you got a nice little meal, little snacks that can go along with stuff. You can supplement that with trail food, different things that you find, and stretch it out a little bit further. And then you're in your food items or categories. I put this also under attitude. One of your attitude boosters is I'm a coffee lover. This is mountain grown coffee from Ecuador, and very tasty. Doesn't cost me much. I'm in Ecuador, and really good. And that half a cup of coffee in the morning just makes my day and sets my attitude into the right mind frame. And then just 3 candy bars. These are not the milk chocolate. This is a paraffin chocolate that doesn't really melt, so they're not quite as good as the milk chocolate, but they keep a lot longer and they don't melt in your pack if you're working in warmer weather. That's it. That's a week's worth of food, maybe longer if you want to stretch it, because you can thin this out. You can go a long time on this. It's possible to stretch this out to a 10-day period of time and still be pretty comfortable. Okay? Depends on what you're doing. So that's it. That's the food component and the water component. And all of this is going to be, I'll pack it into the pack and show you how I do that. Again, pick and choose the foods that you want. Get the stuff that you like. That's what it's all about. Okay, this is the pack up. I'm going to go start filming as I put the gear together. This is an art form. Packing is something you need to practice, and also pack it the same way every time so that in the dark you know where all of your equipment is, and you kind of get your system together. It doesn't have to be my system, it has to be your system, but you want to learn it and test it so that it works effectively in a crisis situation. So that's one of the reasons I'm surprised more people don't do this little flat panel here that holds all your stuff. They have their layout here. My layout is not the same as theirs, but you could use this as a guideline. So I'll start putting this together. What I do when I start out is I kind of get the exposure component, which is the main pocket. I start to load that up and get it ready to go. I'll put some items into this one to start stabilizing the pack. I'm going to throw the sleeping bag all the way down in, okay, that into there. And take the reflective tarp, kind of slide it in wholly there as it goes into that, okay. Poncho set inside of there, and my bivouac on top of that. By putting these bulk items into the pack, it grows up pretty fast. My silks are going in now, the bivouac tent. The tents and poles go with the bivouac setup. Can slide into either side here as it goes in. Alright, that gives me some stability for the pack, and I can start to set up the other pockets as I go in. I'll add some more stuff. I didn't pull out the jet boil the last time. This is a luxury item, but it allows me to do all my cooking for that week out in the field, smokeless without a fire. This you can put right inside your bivouac setup and set it up and cook yourself a nice cup of noodles. It's quite a piece of technology. I'll do the breakdown later on. These aren't too expensive nowadays, but they're insulated cup. It's just a marvelous piece of engineering. And again, you can drop it or get it or do your own. I'm going to add that to the pack. These two pieces of gear, little marvelous setup. Really inexpensive, but definitely want to pack these guys. A little sip of coffee there. Alright, so this one's kind of cool, and you want to use up every little bit of space that you can. So I'll show you real quick how I pack this guy up. Sugar, sardines, salt, coffee. Okay, I take the sardines, and this is what I'll modify. This is when I say, one of my sayings for CRISP, Crisis Recovery, Intelligence Survival Preparation, is go configure. We're always figuring things out and making things better. So I carefully bang the edges down so that can of sardines fits perfectly inside of here, okay? I'll throw my coffee in there. Now slide into place very nicely. There it goes. Put some salt down at the bottom. Salt and sugar can help you, if you want to eat a cricket or a grasshopper, pull the back legs off, throw a little salt or sugar on them and toss them down. In survival eating, you're not eating for taste. You're basically getting protein in your body. So a lot of people say that doesn't taste good. I think we're good. Let's get the coffee. And we're good on that one. Get the top. Okay, so we put the sardines, the salt and sugar and coffee into our little Stanley cooker here. And then I've got some space left there. And this is kind of where you get into your micromanagement of the system. I took one of my candy bars, I folded it in half. I really like these little bags. So when I start to do my packing, I've got bags all over me so that I can do my packing and get this thing really organized. This has measuring, a quarter cup, half a cup, 3/4 cup. You can put your snacks right in there, your nuts or whatever, and you can ration with this little item too. So I fold the candy bar in half, put it into my little package here, all right? So now I'm going to turn that sideways. Wrap plastic, okay, and then we're going to just jam it in here, conform it to the can. It should push down and go in there under the flap. Now I have chocolate, coffee, sugar, salt, and sardines inside of this little guy. This all closes up nicely with the lid like this, and this is what we're talking about. I've got food items in here and a little cooker. So if I didn't have the luxury of the jet boil, I could use a campfire, Wyoming coal fire, try to make a smokeless fire, and learn how to do that, and we're good to go. Okay, so I'm packing these now, and I put these in the mid pocket. After this, we'll have a little bit of stability. Put this one on this side. It's got all of those items in there. Put the jet boil on this side, okay? Slide these down in here, snug it up. I've got more room. I've got some room in here, and I could put more stuff in there, throw a candy bar in there or whatever. For now, I'm just gonna go with this. Okay, so we're good on that, and then I put the Gore-Tex in on top of those guys, right into here. Good to go. And that flap is ready to go up. I think for now, I'll put 2 more candy bars down in here into my open space. Right down in here. Okay. Now we've got enough bulk to stand this up. You can zip and unzip, but we'll start working the pack to where it'll stand up now because I've got those bulk items in. That gives the pack my form, and up it goes. Lean it in here, and we're ready to start putting in some more items here, right? Okay. On the left-hand side of the driver, the pack operator. Oh, I forgot. You guys should have reminded me. These 2 guys always go together. That's what makes them so cool. This is, I don't know who makes this. I got it at Walmart, but it's just perfect combo. Goes together like that. And then you have a cup and a stove. Between these 2 things, you can do all kinds of little treats for yourself. All right, there we go. That's what I had forgotten to do. All right, now you got it. And you won't make the same mistake. Pull the zipper up. Little form here. And we're good. Got quite a bit in there. Now, I'm going to start getting the tool component and putting the other parts of the system together. We'll start packing the tools up. But right away, I'll break this down. There's quite a bit in here. The first aid kit. I'm going to break this down separately for you so you can see 2-side, just a beautiful little case. I saw that thing and I go, I got it. Now the original case is just to throw in your car. Didn't have a lot of good stuff in it. I've repacked this with some goodies, benzoin ointment, so we'll look at that later on. I put that on my left-hand side. I know where and it's on the exterior of the pack, so if I need to access that, I do that. Before I do that, I'm going to take 1 cravat, which works great for a tourniquet, and this is the military, and it has a number of different ways that you can bandage here. Pretty cool. I love those things. All right, in it goes. It goes down on the bottom. It goes in pretty tight. First aid kit is in. I don't put the tuna in till later on, but the 4 tunas are going to go in here. You can stick them in there for now, and I'll show you how we move them. You have to take them out to get your water in. I actually could put the water in now. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you while I'm here how I pack this. Tuna's on the outside again, and you got some snacks. You can eat a little cream of tuna here. Water bottles fit into the pack in these pockets here. And because it pushes out here, I kind of have to special pack this. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I think I can put 1 on the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to use 1 on the bottom on this side. Okay. Packing and unpacking is a practice that you want to get good at. It goes all the way down, and I need to get 1. Got a little more room in there for some other items, but for now, just go with the tuna. All right, done. 4 cans of tuna, and the water is in that system there. I can put the other water in now. I'm starting to take form and get my pack set up here. The other side. These are my 2 1.14 liter bottles. Okay, I can start setting up my tool component here and getting it shaped out. I'm going to put the Surge multi-tool. I get more room in here and could get more room in here if I put this on my person. It's not a bad idea. I carry on my person, I carry the EMT setup flashlight. This makes you pretty effective. You put all of this on your person and you're in pretty good shape with tools on your body separate from the pack that come in out of here. Again, I use these all the time. Cut little twigs for the fire, snips, cut open a package, bandaging. I use it more than I use the knife. And I use them both quite a bit. All of that's on my person. Those items on my person. Okay, let's start loading up here. My navigation packet I'm going to put in here. I'll drop the Suntoe compass. This is, I break it down and I put it on a necklace for myself. I wear a compass as a piece of jewelry. So the Suntoe compass, a little more accurate than the other round one, can be used. That's my navigation package. On top of the navigation package, I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to drop the GPS down in here. Suntoe compass right in there. And then we've got the folding saw. I've got plenty of pocket room on the side of this, so I just slide my stuff in there. Folding saw goes in there. The schwacking instrument, the Shwack Pack, that's what makes it the Shwack Pack, is the rapid access, rapid deployment machete, okay? So when I'm pulling this out, put the flat side of the blade, the unsharpened side of the blade forward towards the front of the pack. When this comes out for the schwack, that blade is going to come on over there and it'll be in the right position. Also, it feeds out of the scabbard that way. The Shwack Pack is in there, that implement is in there. I'm going to take my digging stick and put it in here on the right hand side of the compartment, in with the folding saw. It tucks in there. I'm going to grab the Homeland Security survival knife, and this one didn't have a good scabbard lock, so I improvised, go configure, this little holder for it, and I just put the clip through there. The knife won't come out. Little carabiner clip there that I can utilize. Okay, and it goes on the left hand side. It's a tight fit, but it gives me structure. I'm starting to structure the pack and get these little pockets laid out here very nicely, right? So I got a pencil holder here, and we want to have pencil and paper. You put a tablet in there that you're going to write with, wrap it in plastic so that you've got a little notepad that goes in there. I'll put that in a little bit. This is going to go in a minute. Let me get these out of the way so you don't get confused. And these are my tapes I've got. Okay, so we had a little bit of a packing dilemma. I left the bow out, so I'm going to configure it in the center of the pack. It has to go all the way to the bottom because it just barely fits in here and has to fit in just a certain way. So a lot of times you have to unpack a little bit and redo it. I'm able to get it in this way, so I go all the way to the bottom, touches the bottom. It's going to come out here. You can see that barely gets in there, and if you don't do it right, it's going to rip your pack. Normally I would just carry the AJ sling, but for this demo I'm adding this other one. There you go. It pokes right up through there and I'm good now. I can get back to my repacking my system. So that's where the bow and arrows are, right into this area. Remember, if you got the AJ sling, you still have to have those breakdown arrows. Alright, I'm still configuring here, so what I'm going to do, I have a little space here. I'm going to go ahead and fill that with the macadamias. Looks like they're going to fit in there all right. And as you take off, the pack gets lighter and lighter as you eat. Okay, almonds are in there. I have a nice little space up here that I can use. Again, everything is in plastic. I'm going to put my dates up here. I'm actually going to want the dates to go underneath the 550 cord. So I'm going to roll it back, put the 550s a little closer up on top here. Am I going to be able to get that in here? And how much room do I have? I have a little more room up top. Pack of raisins fits in there pretty nice. Alright, getting everything done up here. I'll seal that off and push it forward, and then I'll finish off the other components here. No problem. Okay.
Warning!
Guess who that is?
It's the what?
Alright, I've reconfigured here. I've just taken my waterproof hat. I've got a little space right up in here, and this is kind of my exposure pocket. There's a few extra items in there. As I said, always pack the same way and unpack and get yourself organized. This one I can go ahead and zip up. Starting to get our form together here. I've got a pot space here, but I'm going to go ahead and zip it while I get this one ready to go. Before I do, I can put my 15s, 7-footers and the 15-footers 550 cord right here. It's a nice little fit. Zipped up. These are old zippers. This is a 30-year-old pack, something like that. Not to date myself. There we go. And it's closed off. I'm going to lay this down. I put my cross sticks in a second. I guess I could do that now. I'll show you how that goes. I'll pull out the bags and I'll configure the cross sticks. On the cross sticks, I'm carrying this just for the demo of the BORG. It would be better to make these in the field. That's not a problem, just for demonstration purposes. However, you can just add it to your pack if you've got the room. And you're going to go in here. It's going to slide down through the pocket. It's like a ski pocket on this jacket. Goes right to the bottom and all the way down. It does add quite a bit of structure to the pack, really. So get it all the way down to the bottom. There it is. Okay. So my sticks are in, throwing sticks. I'll put my 2 bags back, and this pocket's configured. Nothing is coming out of this pocket. Okay. There we go. That's in there. When you start hiking, this will loosen up quite a bit, so you're going to get a more comfortable pack once you take off. It'll adjust itself going in. So now I'm ready to lay this down and finish off the tool compartment. We'll take a look at the finish of that. Okay. Let me bring those items over. All right, we're going to wrap up here. We're just about through our stuff here. I'm going to throw in the little pockets here if you want. You can put little items. There's some zip ties in there. They can be used for snares, different things that you can use this for. I'll lay this down now and finally configure my tool pack going together. This goes up the side to relayer these pockets and restructure the pack here a little bit all together. This is the solar crank flashlight. Just stick that in here. It's nice to have something that recharges if you're all out of batteries and juice as you go. So I could make these so that they're accessible for rapid use. So I'll pull 2 out and stick them so they're accessible. And stick the 5 rest of them right in here in this configuration. Then we're going to go get our security pack, which has got a Chief AJ sling, the David sling, the Boladero here. They're going to go in right on the top of this. Okay, underneath that, just to be accessible, this is the fire kit. It has the cotton balls with Vaseline already on them in plastic. It has some wax balls. I did a test on that. It's on a YouTube video on which one is better, and you can make up your own mind to see the test. The Singer sewing needles. I'll show those again to you because they're a good item to have. Very lightweight. I guess get the big needles, hook needles, whatever. The 550 cord goes into these easily. The gutted 550 cord, and even on the big one, you can use the gutted cord. So it's good for configuring different things. So I'll just stick that in there. And there's also, these are cheap and good to throw in your pack. It's just a magnification lens that will start a fire. Super lightweight. Goes into there. All right. So my fire kit in the tool section, go right up in here. That's ready to go. Let's see if that closes up. So also, once again, I've got enough room to get 1 cravat in here. Remember where you put them. It's in the tool section and it's ready to go. Okay, we're continuing on here. I've got a little, my tape containers that come in here. This is cut down to 1 inch. This is the wire, a little spool of wire. Comes in real handy a lot of times for making shelters or rigging a snare or something like that. You can do that. I put that inside of this. I cut down this to about 1.25 inches. I just cut the tape down. Sometimes all you need is that 1 slice. You don't have to cut it. Then I have a wider roll here. Okay. You can use less. Probably only need 1 roll to get by. So you can cut a lot of this out as you go down. I'm using a little pouch here. Sometimes I carry, I've got all kinds of bags. If you're doing this stuff, you're like got a bag fetish, and you're always looking for the right container to put your stuff together. So I'll push this down. Well, I've got packing tape inside of this one. I use that on plastic bags and tight fit which is just where we want it, and over the top. And then our tapes are all ready to go. Then we'll just drop into my tool pack. Tapes are in the tool component. And there we are. Got more space in here. You could add some matches and do different things and think about that. That's going to go in freely when I lay this system down. Got a nice pocket in the base of this. I'm going to take the water filter. I'm going to put that down in the bottom here. I have the fishnet zipper line. Nice little Petzl container there. And it's got a harmonica in it for attitude. If you don't know how to play a harmonica and you're out there with a lot of time on your hands, you can learn. Make sounds with it and see how it goes. Okay? Harmonica, I'll just put that little thing in the bottom right there. Okay? Now, I showed you this before. I like these guys. That's got the magnifying glass fire starter, medical. If you want to look at your cuticle or get a splinter out, works pretty good, and it has this handy dandy little flashlight that goes in there. Nice little packet. Okay? I'll put that in here, the GPS for now. Make sure when you put it in, you go in the right direction so by pushing it down, you won't turn on that flashlight. Better this way. Okay, not turned on. Got a little room down in there. I have a headlamp. This is just a cheapie. A lot of times that's all you need. This one has a turn on, and a lot of times first light on when I turn this guy on is a red light, which keeps you tactical as you go through there. So your first one is red, so you don't get into trouble with a white flash. And those are good. This is a nice little cheapie. It's got white. Not bad. Okay. Headlamp. Just stick that in there. Well, again, if you can wrap stuff in plastic, it's a good idea. I'll do a video on river crossing with this pack. A YouTube video coming up. I'll swim across the river with my pack, in which you're going to do a little bit better job on the waterproofing. Okay, so that's in there. These are the big 3x5 trash sacks that I showed you earlier. I just slide those into the pocket and for snugging, and I'll put two over here just to get them into the system and get them out of the way. 3 big plastic bags. I can add some more stuff here. I can either leave the surge out, but I'm going to go ahead and just pack it in here now. That's the Leatherman multi-tool right in the tool section. I'll put that one up there. That one's ready to go in. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pack the food packet right now. This one has got a center pocket. Seems to be just about the right size for my food. Easy to get to. I'm going to put 1, 2, egg noodles with chicken bouillon. I'll tell you what though, you get one of these hot in a jet bowl coming in out of the rain. Get your little fort set up. Have a nice cup of noodles. Gets that attitude where you need it. Little tricks, little victories. Okay, that's ready. And we got the pre-salted malto meal. Yummy, yummy. Wrap that packet. Breakfast to champions. I have more room in here, so I could do more, but I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to put my... This is the jungle hammock or hammock that's made out of nylon line. Really does work. You can lay in it. I use it for gear a lot of times, but also it's good for fishing. You can lay this in the ground, make a fish trap out of it. The netting comes in handy for fish. I've got fish in the river down below me. Okay, so in it goes. It's going to find a spot in here. The hat can be rolled up, configured, pillow sometimes, but whatever, however you want to fit this in. Going to go in there. On the side pocket, I have a little space right here that I end up with in this configuration. A little pocket that's right in there. I put my, this I have Q-tips in, insect repellent, sunblock, Neosporin, and an alcohol aero spray can. Put these in plastic. Make sure all the lids are facing up, not facing down, so when you pack it right in here, I know where it is and I can get to that fairly easily. Drop that in there. We're getting close to closure now, so I'm about ready to zip these up. I'll have these ready to go in the tool packet I lay a lot of stuff into the tool pack, but this is the layout on the 550 cord. My 550 cord is 7 5-footers, 4 7-footers. These are pre-tied, rolled, and 2 15s. It gives you a functional cord ready to go, color coordinated, so you can get the one you want for the size of job that you need. Alright, so that had the fire kit in it and the security pack, and I just put in the cravat into this one, and it did zip up okay. Here, there it goes, that's all loaded in there. And then, I don't know how I got this in the last, but I've got a little space, and that's the wire in our pocket. I'm going to take this space over here and go ahead and put it in there. And in it goes, alright? Give me a minute to work that in. There. Okay. I'm going to zip that up and then we'll be ready.